However, the news aroused more skepticism than praise in the scientific community. Fortunately, the Voyager passed through the heliopause at 120 astronomical units from the Sun. Remember that 1 astronomical unit is the average distance between the Sun and the Earth, about 150 million kilometers. That was quite a find, because until then, astronomers didn't know how far the limit of the heliosphere was. We know there's a limit, but we don't know where he ended up. Voyager helped us solve this great mystery. After October 5, 2018, Voyager 2 will also leave the boundaries of the heliosphere, become the only 2 objects created by humans to leave the solar system, same as Voyager 1. Voyager 2 left the solar system 120 astronomical units from the Sun. Why is that? Every 11 years, solar activity increases and decreases in constant and predicted cycles. Scientists' theoretical models predict these solar cycles increase or decrease the solar wind. So, the size of the heliosphere should fluctuate on these dates. However, the 2 Voyagers left the heliosphere at the same distance, 6 years difference. This means that there is no change in the heliosphere during these 6 years. So, it may not fluctuate as the theoretical models suggest, much more consistently than we think. Voyager 1 began to malfunction. Although he has been around for many years, but everything indicates that Walker 1 is still functioning normally. However, NASA engineers studying the spacecraft have recently been troubled by the probe's joints and control systems. The data he generates appears to be completely random. Specifically, scientists found that the spacecraft successfully received and executed commands from Earth, but toxins in the attitude control and pronunciation systems of the Voyager 1 probe do not reflect Voyager. What happened on the first? The system means that the Voyager 1 probe and its antennas keep pronouncing in the correct direction. The system is sending junk right-hand data to the ship's manipulator. Engineers are unsure whether the problem is directly from the system or other parts of the spacecraft. In addition, according to NASA, Voyager 2, a twin probe launched in 1977, has generally performed well. According to several scientific media reports, NASA may not be able to find the source of the problem. The software will have to be modified or use the ship's booking system. This was already done in 2017. Voyager is closing. The team responsible for the Voyager spacecraft continues to study them. Data sent to us from distant solar systems. However, this is a relatively slow process because it currently takes 20 hours and 33 minutes for a signal from Earth to reach Voyager 1. Receiving a response from the spacecraft has the same delay. Each detector has a long-term radioactive isotope thermoelectric generator, can convert the heat of the different digits of decay, 238, into electricity. However, this energy is not eternal. Sooner or later, he will run out. This is why NASA is starting to shut down some spacecraft systems to maximize energy savings. Even engineers have said, in the best-case scenario, by 2025, these spacecraft will have completely exhausted their power supply. Once this happens, they will be closed forever. Once Voyager closes, they will roam the complete darkness of interstellar space, forever adrift near some star. May stay for thousands of years. It is estimated that in 40,000 years, Voyager 1 will leave the solar system, head to the star Gliese 445 in the constellation Deer Leopard. Voyager 2 will pass in about 296,000 years, 423 light-years from Sirius. So, has an alien civilization encountered these ships in the history of the universe? This is a question we still don't have an answer to, but that's probably never going to happen. Even if it happens, or maybe millions of years after humans disappeared from the face of the Earth, Voyager may have lasted longer than human civilization. Or who knows? Maybe in the future we will develop such advanced technology. Let's do in a matter of days what Voyager took decades. What do you think? What do you think will happen to the future Voyager probes? Please let me know in the comment area below. The video ends here. Thanks for watching. See you next time. When we were children, I was told that there are 9 planets in the solar system: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But a few years later, Pluto no longer appears on the list of planets. Why is Pluto no longer a planet? So what would Planet 9 be? In the previous video, we talked at length about how Pluto stopped being a planet. But in general, astronomers have removed Pluto from the list of planets in the solar system. Because the definition of a planet has changed, astronomy has never needed a detailed definition of a planet before. After all, there are very few objects with these characteristics. However, with the advent of new technologies and more powerful telescopes in the 21st century, we're starting to find things that look like planets but are too small. The first is Gu Chengxing, a dwarf planet in the asteroid belt. The second is Pluto. For many years, Pluto was considered the 9th planet. However, this situation changed on August 24, 2006. The International Astronomical Union unanimously decided Pluto is no longer classified as a planet. They're called dwarf planets. This is because Pluto does not meet all the requirements for a planet. Since then, the model they had us make in school had only 8 planets, instead of 9. But will there be a 9th planet? After Pluto was left off the list of planets, the idea of a possible 9th planet has resurfaced. Especially after such a planet has been searched for many years. But if there is a 9th planet beyond the orbit of Neptune, what will he look like? How old will he be? Is it a big one or a small one? To talk about Planet 9, you have to talk about Caltech astronomers Michael Brown and Konstantin Batygin. So far, they are the ones with more clues about Planet 9. According to a study published by the two scientists in the journal Astronomy on January 20th, 2016, the existence of this planet can be inferred from the behavior of a group of objects beyond Neptune. A trans-Neptunian object is any object in the solar system that lies beyond the orbit of Neptune. According to Brown and Batygin's estimates, some celestial bodies, such as the dwarf Venus Sedna, changed in their orbits. This can only be explained by objects with at least 3 Earth masses in these regions of the solar system. In other words, the orbital changes of some celestial bodies suggest that there may be a large planet 3 times the mass of the Earth beyond the orbit of Neptune. Is that possible? That is, if possible, why haven't we discovered planets this massive yet? When we look up at the night sky, we can see thousands of stars at a glance. But what do the planets look like from Earth? Even though in school we're taught that planets don't give off light like stars do. But from the Earth, planets and stars look the same. This is because the planets reflect the sun's light. If it weren't for the knowledge we have inherited from our ancestors over centuries, we can't tell the difference between stars and planets. We now know that the planets are those unblinking bright spots in the night sky. As you just heard, the easiest way to distinguish between stars and planets in the night sky is to identify which bright spots are not shining. Planets are smaller than stars, but it's much closer. So even though they only reflect sunlight, but they are brighter than stars. So the next time you see a star that doesn't twinkle, congratulations, you've just discovered a planet. However, this technology only works on the planets closest to Earth. Because Uranus and Neptune are big, but due to the distance, they are invisible to the naked eye. You can only see it through a telescope. Therefore, it is difficult for our ancestors to find them. For example, in 1781, astronomer William Herschel discovered Uranus's star through a telescope. But first, he said, it's not a planet. It was a comet. Will any astronomer or scientist who is too skeptical about their discoveries? Herschel didn't want to go without preliminary confirmation with other experts, claiming his discovery as a planet. So 2 years later, Europe's leading astronomers confirmed Herschel's observations. The newly discovered celestial body is a planet. Later, through mathematical calculations of the orbit of Uranus, Astronomer Wilbur Levier determined the position of Neptune in 1846. Thanks to recent research, we realize that all of these planets have been recorded by humans for a long time. In 1690, astronomer John Flamsteed made at least 6 observations of Uranus and classify it as a Taurus. So he died unaware that he had discovered Uranus almost 100 years before William Herschel. In addition, in 1612, astronomer Galileo Galilei observed Neptune several times while observing Jupiter. Just as Flamsteed described Neptune's heart as a star rather than a planet, Galileo discovered Neptune's heart 200 years before Leverrier, but he never knew him. In 2005, astronomer Brown discovered the love star Pleasant at the Paloma Observatory. The first image of the planet was found on a photosensitive plate, taken by the same planetesimal in 1955. That was over 50 years ago. Because there are billions of stars in the universe, so it's very difficult to identify objects as small as planets. And that's mainly because planets don't emit light like stars do. This is why many scientists like Brown believe that we may have observed Planet 9 with a telescope, but hadn't realized it was hidden from the naked eye. We may have a picture of Planet 9 though, but it would be hard to find him among all the rampages in the sky. The reason is that the 9th planet may be 5 times larger than the Earth, but it's too far away. As we move away from the Sun, objects are getting darker and darker because they are exposed to less sunlight, so they're hard to see with even the most powerful telescopes. If Planet 9 existed, as soon as it is located in an area of the solar system that receives little sunlight,